Will positive mentality give Ambazonian independence? This is a particular comment that somebody dropped under the video I was talking about positive mentality. And I am happy for this particular question. And the answer is that positive mentality can give Ambazonian independence. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you how. And I am using this book that I wrote titled Positive Mentality for the Cameroon we want, because I talk about the Anglophone crisis. Somebody corrected me and said I should say Southern Cameroon crisis or Ambazonia crisis, but I am calling Anglophone crisis because there is no way we can remove this. If you look it critically, you discover that the crisis in Southern Cameroon is in existence because of poor mentality. It came into existence because of poor mentality. And if this is your first time joining TV Talking Points, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. I am going to explain to you for you to understand that the crisis we are having today in Southern Cameroon is because of poor mentality. Poor mentality from who? From the Britain, from France, and from the United Nations. From Amadou Ahidjo, President Paul Biya, and many other people that I will be explaining in this video. If you look at the origin of the crisis in Southern Cameroon, that today we are talking about separation, federation, and one and indivisible Cameroon, it is all because of poor mentality. It was as a result of poor mentality that France and Britain divided Cameroon into two pieces for selfish interest, because selfishness is poor mentality. And they divided Cameroon. And then when in 1961, when British Cameroon was fighting to achieve or gain its own independence, then it was still due to poor mentality that Britain decided that they would go away with part of British Cameroon by all means. If British Cameroon was not selfish and then turned to manipulate the United Nations, there was no way that the whole British Cameroon could have been asked to join French Cameroon or to go for this state. It was because of the selfishness and the poor mentality on the part of the British that the United Nations came up with the issue of plebiscite. Because if you look at how they granted independence to French Cameroon, you will understand that British Cameroon was supposed to achieve or gain its own independence separately as a separate country. But because of the poor mentality on the part of the British, they came in with a plebiscite. That the plebiscite now that was struggling to force these two people to separate. The plebiscite was conducted separately as if it was two separate countries. But when you look at how British Cameroon was being governed, it was under the United Nations Trusteeship Council. It was just one British Cameroon. It was not divided. And then you ask the question, why is it that the United Nations set two different plebiscites for British Northern Cameroon and British Southern Cameroon? It was due to poor mentality. And if all these mentalities are being corrected and people change their mentality positively, we will go to the root causes of this issue. And going to the root causes of this issue, Southern Cameroon can achieve independence. I do not like using the name Ambazonian because not all Southern Cameroonians are Ambazonian. So that is why I always talk about this, because I'm talking on behalf of Southern Cameroonians. And when you go forward, then you look at when all this issue happened, and then British Southern Cameroon now voted to join French Cameroon. You discover that the people, our forefather, Fonjan, and many others, they went to the Fumban conference with a clear and clean heart, with what they drafted during the Bamenda conference. And then when they came there, they did not know that Amadou Ahidjo was having a poor mentality in the sense that he came there with a secondary reason of assimilation. And when they were talking there, he was pretending as if he is truly for a unification. But he was there with a secondary reason. And that secondary reason, objective, was due to poor mentality. Because 19 days after the independence of Southern Cameroon, Amadou Ahidjo started the mission of abolishing the federal system. And 11 years after, he succeeded in 1972 to abolish the federal system in Cameroon. And the way he took to abolish it was a very negative way. And that is because of poor mentality on his part. And President Paul Biya inherited the atrocity of Amadou Ahidjo in 1982. And then it continued with that poor mentality against the people of Southern Cameroon. If President Paul Biya was having a positive mentality, he could have corrected all the mistakes and all the atrocity that Amadou Ahidjo committed. But he came in with a poor mentality and continued with that atrocity. And we are where we are today. We are where we are today because of poor mentality. So in this book, I made mention of this whole issue there. How can we solve the Anglophone crisis positively, using positive mentality? With positive mentality, we will all go to the root causes of this crisis. And we will be going to the root causes of this crisis with a pure and loving heart. Meaning, President Paul Biya will change his mentality positively. All his government changed their mentality positively. The Ambazonian changed their mentality positively. Those of Federation, they changed their mentality positively. Then we will sit on a table as one people. And then we will not be having that grudge within our heart while listening to another. We will not be prohibiting others from airing what it is in their heart. They will allow them to say whatsoever they want to say, because we are coming, we are there sitting on that particular table with a heart full with love. And that is what positive mentality is all about. So the first point I may mention here is dialogue and negotiation, genuine, sincere, and inclusive dialogue, where the government of President Paul Biya, Ambazonian, and those for Federation will sit on a table, talk and laughing, drinking coffee and laughing, talking about it sincerely. And then the next person will say, truly, I did not understand this one. Now I surrender. And if the government surrender and those for Federation surrender, then Ambazonia will achieve independence and Southern Cameroon will be separated from French Cameroon. But if those for Federation struggle to convince them all, if the government of Cameroon, who are for one and indivisible Cameroon and Ambazonia, then they go in for two-state federation. And then nobody will be angry. Because we are there with a positive mentality. Then if the government struggle to convince the Ambazonia and those for federation, and then they go in for one and indivisible Cameroon, everybody will be okay. And then at this point now, even the Ambazonia will still consider that they have achieved independence, because there is peace and joy in the heart of everyone. This is the positive mentality I am talking about. And if we put all this together, it will be okay. It will be okay. Positive mentality is the only thing needed for any problem that we are having. Because you are not going to bring in your self-interest. You are not going to bring in your own ideology and struggle to impose no matter the consequences. But when A will talk, you will say, reason with the A and say, no, I'm not going to oppose him. I'm not going to criticize it. This thing is the best. You will not say, I'm not going to, pride will be, it will disappear. Self-interest will disappear. Wickedness will disappear because of positive mentality. And that is the main reason I say the only solution to all the problems we are going through is a positive mentality. And that is the positive mentality for the Cameroon we want. Whether it is Southern Cameroon, or it is French Cameroon, or it is Ambazonia, or it is La République, it is due to positive mentality. That if they separate, they will be living peacefully as if they are one people, because everybody is having a positive mentality. This is the Cameroon I am praying for. This is the country I am praying for. Whether they separate and become two different countries, it is still the country I am praying for. So thank you very much for that particular question. So Ambazonia will be free. Southern Cameroon will be free. Cameroon will be free if we all change our mentality positively. You will not consider anyone. your enemy, because God created us and gave us the power to dominate the earth, not to dominate other human beings. Thank you.